When we talk about first-time sexual experiences, one of the most common questions that comes up is, do boys or girls experience pain during their first sex? It's a genuine curiosity, especially for young people who are nervous or unsure about what to expect. Today, we're going to dive deep into this topic, break down the myths, explain the real physical and emotional experiences involved, and give you a clear, honest picture of what happens and why. First, let's start by acknowledging that every person's body is different. Pain, pleasure, or discomfort during first-time sex can vary a lot depending on multiple factors: physical, emotional, and even cultural. There's no single answer that applies to everyone. However, based on medical research and real-life experiences, we can definitely explain some general patterns that boys and girls might experience. For girls, it's quite common to experience some pain during their first sexual intercourse. This is often linked to the hymen, a thin membrane located just inside the vaginal opening. There's a widespread belief that the hymen breaks during first-time sex, causing bleeding and pain. But actually, the hymen is more like a stretchy rim of tissue, and for many girls, it might already have been stretched or torn due to activities like cycling, sports, or using tampons, even before having sex for the first time. If the hymen is still intact, it may stretch or tear during intercourse, which can cause a brief sharp pain and sometimes minor bleeding. However, it's important to know that the real cause of pain is often not just the hymen. In many cases, pain during first sex is due to vaginal dryness, lack of proper arousal, tension, or nervousness. If the body isn't fully relaxed and lubricated, penetration can feel uncomfortable or even painful. This is why foreplay, communication, and going slowly are absolutely crucial. When a girl feels emotionally safe, physically relaxed, and fully aroused, her body naturally produces lubrication that helps make sex more comfortable. In fact, with proper preparation, many girls experience little to no pain at all during their first time. Now, what about boys? Do they experience pain during their first sexual intercourse? The short answer is, sometimes, yes. Although it's less commonly talked about, some boys do report pain during their first time. For boys, the pain is usually related to physical tension, performance anxiety, or a lack of experience. In some cases, the foreskin, the skin covering the head of the penis, if not circumcised, might be tight, a condition called phimosis. If the foreskin is too tight, pulling it back during intercourse can cause discomfort or even tearing, leading to pain. Another source of discomfort can be oversensitivity. For some boys, the head of the penis is extremely sensitive, especially during their early sexual experiences, making friction during intercourse feel slightly painful at first. Emotional factors also play a big role. If a boy is very nervous, feeling pressured, or worrying about performance, his muscles can tighten up, making the experience less pleasurable and sometimes uncomfortable. Again, just like with girls, proper relaxation, communication, and taking things slowly can make a huge difference in comfort levels. It's important to highlight that neither girls nor boys are supposed to feel pain during their first time. Pain is not an essential part of losing virginity. In fact, if done with enough care, trust, and patience, first-time sex can be a positive and even enjoyable experience for both partners. However, because of inexperience, lack of communication, or nervousness, pain can happen, and that's okay. It doesn't mean there's something wrong. Now let's touch on another important point: emotional pain. Sometimes, the emotional experience can be just as intense, if not more, than the physical experience. If someone is not emotionally ready, feels pressured, or regrets their decision afterward, it can cause emotional pain, guilt, or sadness. This is why being mentally and emotionally prepared, and making sure the experience is consensual and wanted by both people, is so important. Another crucial factor that affects pain during first sex is lubrication. Lack of lubrication is a major reason for painful intercourse, especially for girls. Natural lubrication increases when a person is aroused. If there isn't enough, using a good quality lubricant can help immensely. There's absolutely no shame in using lubrication. It's smart, healthy, and can make the experience much more comfortable. Positioning and technique also matter. Rushing, rough movements, or not communicating about discomfort can easily lead to pain. It's important for couples to start slowly, listen to each other's bodies, and adjust as needed. Checking in with your partner, asking if they're comfortable, if you should slow down or change position, makes the experience more caring and enjoyable for both people. Let's also be clear about the myths. There's a damaging myth that if a girl doesn't bleed during her first time, she wasn't a virgin. This is absolutely false. Many girls do not bleed at all during their first intercourse. The hymen can be very elastic, already stretched from daily activities, or simply not tear enough to cause any bleeding. Virginity is not something you can physically check. It's a personal, emotional experience, not a physical condition. Similarly, there's a myth that boys must perform perfectly during their first time. In reality, first-time experiences are rarely like scenes from movies. They can be awkward, funny, tender, and even a little clumsy, and that's perfectly normal. Putting too much pressure on performing well can actually make the experience worse. It's far better to focus on connection, communication, and care than on performance. If either person experiences significant or lasting pain during or after first-time sex, it's important to consult a healthcare professional. Sometimes underlying medical conditions like infections, vaginismus, for girls, or phimosis, for boys, can cause pain that needs treatment. Ignoring persistent pain is not advisable. Getting help ensures that sexual experiences can be healthy and enjoyable in the future. Before we end, it's vital to stress the role of consent. First sex, or any sex, should always be 100% consensual. That means both partners freely agree, without any pressure, guilt-tripping, or manipulation. Consent must be enthusiastic and ongoing. If at any point someone feels uncomfortable or wants to stop, it's their right to do so, and their partner must respect that immediately. In summary, yes, it's common for girls to experience some pain during their first sexual intercourse, and sometimes boys do too, though typically for different reasons. But with good communication, patience, relaxation, and proper preparation, pain can often be minimized or even avoided altogether. Remember, there's no need to rush, no need to meet anyone else's expectations, and no need to feel ashamed if things don't go perfectly. What matters most is that the experience is consensual, safe, and emotionally positive for both people involved. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We have many more honest and informative videos about sex education, relationships, and emotional well-being coming up. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover next. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.